Make sure he's big enough.
I can't even see him.
Make sure he's big enough.
What was that? Yeah. I can't even see him through the scope. It's all fogged up.
Can you see him?
Hell no, I can't see him.
He's down in the massments. He's walking.
See, now, dude, just stop.
Bouncing now.
Stop, you son of a bitch.
There, you get him. You hit him. He's just standing there. He's hit. Missed. Take your time, he's just walking.
Still didn't hit him?
He walked into the trees.
Find some blood or some dead splatter going up the hill.
Here's the reason that you don't wound bucks. Right there, wounded buck. 60, 70 yards in front of me. I can't finish him off because I don't have a gun.
He's right down here. To your right. Right in the bottom, laying there, wounded. He's not the one running. He's laying down. Now he's getting up.
Alright, here's my buck for the year. And we had quite a trial on this deer. I'd give up, that's no kidding. I shot this deer up the mountain. You can see where my bullet hit. I blow the hell out of their shoulder, but I can't just knock them down. And we trailed him probably for a half a mile, and he wasn't bleeding. And I mean, just a drop here and a drop there. And finally I told Brian, I said, he's just taking us farther and farther in. I said, we're not going to find him. And he told me, he says, well, I'm going to stay with him. And I did. I headed back for my four-wheeler. And he kept on the track, and the deer went to the bottom of the canyon, and he finally picked me up on the walkie-talkie, and he says, come on down here. He's starting to bleed a little bit now. And so finally I joined him probably about a half hour later, and down the canyon we came, and he was walking right down a trail in the bottom of the canyon, but then he turned off the trail and went up through the oak brush, and we figured he was going up there to bed down. And we jumped him up, and when we jumped him up, I couldn't get a shot, of course. He just jumped up and ran. And but that time he started really squirting blood. And he came around the mountain probably about a half a mile farther, and he finally got into a canyon where we thought that maybe I could get on one side of the canyon, and Brian stayed on his track, and we were trying to catch him in between us so I'd be able to see him, because he finally got into the quaking aspen in this brush. And Brian walked right up on top of him, of course, and I was still 400 yards away, and I had to run over there. And at my age, it's hard to run through a foot of snow and all this brush. And anyway, when I finally caught up with him, why, he jumped up and started running through all these quakies and willows and stuff.
Oh, let's try.
Hold a minute. We got a call from the boy. Maybe we can tell him what's
We'll
going on.
pause, and then we'll come back to the story.
Anyway, Brian had called me. We joined him. I joined up with him. We tracked the deer for probably another half a mile. And finally we got him into these quakies. And Brian stayed up on the top part of the mountain there. And I crossed over to get across, hoping that the deer had come out in the open. And Brian walked right up on it. He was finally sick enough that he had bedded down, and Brian walked right up to him. But of course he didn't have a gun or anything, no way to kill him. And so he yelled at me, and I ran over there as fast as I could. When I got over there, the buck was bedded, but there was another little buck that joined him, and that buck spotted me, and then he took off running. So this one jumped up and ran too, and I ran after him and was running down through the quakies in the brush, shooting my gun. I shot 6 times. Finally, he had stopped. He was sick, and he stopped broadside. And the final shot, I did graze him one of the times, but finally I hit him in the tank, and we got him. That does it. It's probably my best all-around buck. A great buck. He's got the cheater on this side. He had one on this side. This morning he broke this off somehow. With this cheater and the little one out here, he goes 30 inches. He probably would have made it maybe 31, 32 inches with the cheater. Big, heavy 4-point. I'm tickled to death. It's the last day. Brian had spotted this buck last night. We never thought we had a chance of seeing him again, but we walked up there, and sure enough, he jumped up out of the brush, took off running down the mountain, and he stopped at, I figured, 375 yards. He gave me one broadside shot. I hit him here in the, or clear up here high in the back, I guess, is where that shot hit him. And it just wasn't enough to anchor him. It didn't break his back. And we chased him the whole rest of the day, and that's the story. I'm tickled to death, and I'm grateful to Brian because he stayed on, because I did. I gave up, and I said, that's it. He got away from me. He stayed with it, and luckily we had those radios, and he called me back down, and here we are, and we got him. It's the last day, and now we got to pack our butts, clear to the top of the mountain, get to camp, get out of here, and go home. Thank you very much.